Trading in FIFA 23 Ultimate Team is not always easy. Every single day you have to deal with a number of different variables. The one trading method that is working for you today may not work tomorrow. Not to mention, there's also hundreds of different videos as well as tips posted across YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, as well as many other FIFA communities telling you the very best trading methods. It can be overwhelming, and this leads to you jumping around trying to find the next best thing, only for you to really be wasting your time. That's why this video is here. If you're new to trading, there's really only one method that you really need to know, and you can use this from the very first point where you start having coins in your account to eventually you having hundreds of thousands, potentially even millions of coins. But before we do get into the video, if you're looking to get some very easy coins which saves you from having to trade, then there is no better place than AOA. Head over there to get yourself some cheap, fast FIFA 23 coins, completely reliable, and if you use Fnatic at checkout, you'll get yourself a 3% discount. Link can be found in the description down below. The method that we're going through in today's video is not a new one. It's been around for years, but that really should show and encourage you that it's going to be something that works all year round. But this method's also very unique in that it's one of a very few amount of methods out there which will scale at the exact same time in which you scale. What I mean by this is you can use a bronze trading method right at the beginning, but after you get about 10,000 coins, it's no longer worth you using that bronze trading method simply because there is a more efficient way for you to use the coins that you have so that you're not wasting as much time trying to find deals, but still making a very good return. So you have to move on. With this one, you can just change up the parameters slightly and you can keep on using. If you haven't guessed by now, of course, we're talking about the 1-2-3 method. And you'll understand why it's called that in just a second. If you have a very small amount of coins in your account, we're talking anywhere between 1,000 going up to around 30,000, then what you need to do is head over to the transfer market and you can use the cheap version. You'll set it to be 1,000 coins minimum bid, 2,000 coins maximum bid, and 3,000 coins minimum buy now. This will show players which have a bid valued between 1 to 2,000 but have a buy now over 3,000. And even though itself it isn't a trading method, but it's a bidding parameter which will allow you to get rid of all the potentially bad deals so that you can focus on the good ones. With this cheap parameter, you're going to get fairly expensive silver players, but really cheap rare gold players. I recommend going through the transfer market with the players that are there and only checking the price for those with bids on. Reason for this is because there's a lot of players, and if you were to go through them each individually, it's likely that you're going to miss some really good deals. And those that do currently have bids on, that's where other people have logged into the game and saw these players on an open bid, and it was actually much better than what their lowest buy now is. So you know that these are being bidded on for a particular reason, most likely because they're cheaper than what's currently available on the market. So all you need to do is go across and just check the price of each one. Now, of course, that becomes a lot harder in Ultimate Team because you'll need to back out and then type that player in to find their lowest buy now. And in a lot of cases, you're only going to have about 20 to 40 seconds. That is where you're going to need to use a site such as FootWiz or FootBin, which will keep you up to date on the player's latest price. You just type their name in, and if the price currently on Ultimate Team for the bid is a lot lower compared to what you're currently seeing on one of these sites, then it's a good indication that you probably should place a bid, and then you can list them at that price which it tells you to on FootBin. And this really is all you need to do. With rare gold players, because we're dealing with them being so cheap, there's not going to be as much of a spread. You'll probably be making just 100 to 200 coins per card. With silver players, you can likely make a bit more, probably anywhere between 200 to say about 700, but you're just not going to be coming up to those as often. But if you are just starting in foot or you have a very low coin balance, this is a great way for you to start building on top of that. And we can take it to the next level. If you have over 100,000 coins, then you can actually use the normal version of this method, which is what most people use anyway. Instead of you putting 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, you would instead put 10,000 minimum bid, 20,000 maximum bid, and 30,000 minimum buy now. Now you're getting the players which currently have bids between 10 to 20k, but have buy nows above 30k. These are going to be some pretty decent rare gold players that normally get used as fodder, or you're going to be getting some of these special cards, some of the cheaper players as part of weekly promos or even team of the weeks. This really is the golden version of this method, because this is where you're going to be finding the majority of your deals. And as time goes on, this method gets better and better and better, simply because there becomes way too many players that fit within these parameters that most traders aren't able to keep up. So it's likely that you can all be using this method without the worry of being outbidded. Not just that, but you're also likely to be making more profit, as there is a wider spread between players. You're now just not looking at the lowest of the lowest with rare gold players where you can only make 100 to 200 coins profit after EA tax. Now you're looking at some bigger players, more desirable players, and if you're there at the right place at the right time, you can make a couple thousand coins profit per deal. With this parameter, you can get some really good rare gold players as well as special cards, and it does work all year round. But this really becomes great to use on special occasions where there's an influx in people using FIFA points to open packs and then just listing them onto the transfer market just to sell them within the first hour. If you're in the right place, you can get those players on a bid, and it's just absolutely wonderful because everyone else is just trying to open packs whilst you're taking everything that they're not really wanting and flipping it for a profit. Typically around Black Friday, this works well, team of the year, and we can't forget team of the season. With there also being other times throughout the year where this works, but we 100% know that it's going to be great to use around these free events. You really can then take this bidding parameter from 100k up to 1 million coins. You're not going to get there overnight, but if it is something that you just keep on going to, spend 10-15 minutes a day just trying to find some good deals, eventually you will get there. And it gets easier and easier as you quickly climb the ranks because you have more coins to buy more deals and more deals to give you more profit, and then it just becomes a compounded loop. Now this is the point of the video where it will only apply to a very small percentage. There's going to be a lot of you that will be able to use the cheap version, but you'll quickly get your coins up to the point in which you'll start using the normal version, and that's where most of you will stay. But if you want to take it to the extreme, there are 2 more levels to this, and you can probably see where this is going. The next version is the expensive method, where you will no longer do 10k, 20k, 30k, but you'll do 100k minimum bid, 200k maximum bid, and 300k minimum buy now. This allows you to see all the potentially good deals, but now you're looking at icons and high rated rare gold players and expensive special cards and whatever EA plans to release, which is somewhat desirable. You will not be able to get as many deals as what you was able to get from those previous parameters, but you will be able to have a much bigger profit. And you need to, because the 5% EA tax above 100k is no longer just taking a couple hundred coins, but it is now taking 5,000 coins. If you're selling a player for 200k, then it's 10,000 coins. So you need to have a much bigger margin. You also need to take into consideration with these types of players, they're no longer just looking to buy them to trade, but they're also looking to buy them to place into their teams because decent players to use. So some players will go all the way up to their minimum buy now, where there is no possible room for you to make profit. But occasionally you will find some incredibly good deals where you're not just making a few thousand coins in profit, but you're able to make 10k, 20k, 30k, potentially even more if you're in the right place at the right time. It's probably not worth using this bidding parameter until you're over 1 million coins. If you're just trying to use this when you have just reached 300k, then you're probably going to be putting all your coins into one player, and that could be risky. These players take a lot longer to sell than what we were able to get from cheap as well as the normal bidding parameter. You might get lucky to sell it within the first time of listing, but it might take a few hours, it might even take days, potentially even weeks. And if you have your coins all locked up into that one player, you're not able to trade to make even more coins whilst your coins are all waiting for that one player to sell. That's why I recommend going for 1 million coins, because then you can get 2 or 3 players. And if it's just one player that you're waiting to sell, it doesn't really matter because hopefully the other 2 have gone and you're able to use those to buy even more. If you really want to take this method to the absolute extreme, you then have the super ridiculous bidding parameter, which is 1 million coins minimum bid, 2 million coins maximum bid, and 3 million coins minimum buy now. It's unlikely any of you are going to use this, but just in case you are, it's worth me mentioning within this video. This one, you'll be lucky to have 2 pages worth of players because there is a very small percentage of players across the whole of FUT which actually fits this price range, and they're still not particularly amazing deals, but occasionally you will get 1 or 2. Now this time, it also opens up a few extra doors because not only do you have the ability to sit there and wait for that player to go down where you can place a bid and hopefully get a good deal, but also occasionally there may be a few players which you can get just on a buy now. Because these players are so expensive, the barrier to entry is so much higher. So even if a good, reasonably priced player gets listed and it's a lot cheaper compared to the other ones which are listed on the market currently, and you know that you can buy them, list them at a higher price and make hundreds of thousands of coins, which is definitely possible to happen, especially with these price ranges. With those types of players, they could still be listed on the market for 10, 15, 20 minutes, maybe even just expire without even selling at that price. Simply because there may be players that will see that that's a good deal, but are unable to purchase it themselves. It's definitely a good position to be in if you have these coins, but of course, there's a very small percentage of players which will be able to use this method at this level. But hopefully that does show you that you can just use one trader method, the 1-2-3 method, to start with very low prices at 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Build it up to eventually be 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. Use a more expensive version at 100,000, 200,000, and 300,000. To then, if you really wanted to, and as well as having the coins, take it up to the millions with 1 million, 2 million, and 3 million. If you do have any questions about anything, then please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. But anyway guys, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But for now, I'm going to see ya.